Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some PathOfExile discussion. Juggernaut, Inquisitor, Hierophant, and a couple of less popular ascendancies like Chieftain, Berserker. All of these share one thing in common, and that is that they are near the leftmost side of the passive tree. If you're playing any of these builds and you want to make yourself a lot tankier, you can do that by using 11 specific items. Now these are not particularly expensive if you're in Trade League, but if you're in solo self-found, you're going to need a little bit of luck to get there. We're going to be using Tattoos of the Namahu Firewalker, and we're going to be using the Red Nightmare. The Red Nightmare is a jewel that's been in the game for a long time. It did get overhauled a little bit last patch. Its numbers got changed, but it's fundamentally the same item. The key things on this: passives that grant fire resistance or all elemental resistances within its radius also grant attack block chance at 50% of the numerical value. Now before 3.22, this was somewhat limited. It was a serviceable jewel, but it wasn't particularly great. The key thing that's changed is that now you have access to a lot more passives that grant 8% fire resistance, and that's thanks to 3.22's Tattoo of the Namahu Firewalker. So in addition to the other sources of resistances that are on the tree, 3% all res here, 3% all res here, 8% fire res specifically here on Barbarism, which is a great node anyway, and 15% on Diamond Skin, you now have access to 10 strength travel nodes, and each of these can now be leveraged to get you 4% attack block as well. This is one of my favorite setups in patch 3.22 for making any left side of the tree character a lot tankier, because what tends to kill you when you're mapping is not one overwhelmingly big hit that does 40,000 damage. It's a very sudden barrage of hits that all add up to perhaps 40,000 damage, but none of them are individually all that massive. If you can make 75% of them be blocked, then you're going to feel a lot more durable. And whilst this is something that plays particularly well to the strengths of the Chieftain at the moment, it is something that you can use on any other left side of the tree build. So whether you're a duelist-based ascendancy like Champion, whether you're a Marauder-based ascendancy like the Juggernaut, or whether you are a Templar-based ascendancy like the Hierophant, this is a package that you can fit into your build. And even some witch builds can path here. There are plenty of necromancers using this setup to cap their character's attack block as well. Now this package is going to put you at 53% attack block as is. You can then use any shield in the game to get at least 20% attack block, except for maybe a couple of oddball unique shields. And then on top of that, most shields will have more than 20% attack block. So if you choose to use a shield, you're pretty much there. If you're dual wielding, then dual wielding provides 15% attack block, so suddenly you're looking at 68% already. Maybe you're content with that, but going from 68% to 75% is really worth it. So if you can pick up a little bit more attack block somewhere else, that's going to be a bonus. Alternately, there are many staves that you can use. Most staves have an implicit that provides attack block chance on them. This is not universal, there are exceptions. Eclipse staves, battery staves, eventuality rods, all of these have different implicits, but most staves do follow this rule, and so you can use one of those. So that's just something that can make your character a lot tankier, help you avoid dying so much. You do need to get a Red Nightmare, and this comes from getting a regular Chayula to drop the Red Dream Jewel, and also a Blessing of Chayula. Or alternately, if you're running Uber Chayula, then you may be able to get the Red Nightmare as a direct drop there. This is not particularly cheap, but it's also not unaffordable. The time I'm recording this video, this jewel will set you back about 2 divines, and on top of that, 10 Tattoos of the Namahu Firewalker will set you back about half a divine as well. So 2.5 divines for this defensive package, but it's going to be very worth it if you're playing in Trade League. If you're in solo self-found, it might take you a while to get enough Tattoos of the Namahu Firewalker to make this work, that even if you do get lucky and get the Red Nightmare, but it is something that if you get your hands on a Red Nightmare, you might want to consider working towards. That's all I've got here. May your Varlorbs have interesting results, and I will see you around.